to discover the dimension of your own soul.
Dr. and Master Sha was trained in China as a medical doctor. He was also from the age of 6 a student of Tai Chi, Qigong, acupuncture, and many other traditional Chinese energy practices. Dr. and Master Sha has received accolades for his humanitarian services, including the Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Commission Award. He has written 10 New York Times best-selling books, including 4 that were #1. Dr. and Master Sha's mission is to teach you to do soul-healing miracles so that you can live a healthier and happier life. Dr. and Master Sha's ultimate dream is to raise the consciousness of all 7 billion people on planet Earth to ensure a healthy and happy planet for generations to come. This program is likely to change your life. You will be taught specific exercises which may immediately benefit you. Watch and listen.
Welcome to Soul Healing Miracles with Dr. and Master Sha. Hello, my name is William Gladstone. I'm a Harvard University trained medical anthropologist and an author. Today's show is about the Givens family. 6 members, all of whom have received soul healing miracles. My co-host for this show is Michael Bernard Beckwith, founder of Agape Spiritual Center, creator of Life Visioning Process, author of many best-selling books. He has appeared on Oprah, on Dr. Oz, and many other wonderful shows. I'm delighted that Michael has taken the time to be on the show with us today. Thank you so much. And of course, Dr. and Master Sha. For those of you who have not seen previous episodes, Dr. and Master Sha is a medical doctor. He's also a master of traditional Chinese medicine, and he is perhaps the only person on planet Earth at this time performing soul healing miracles. As a medical anthropologist, I'm always looking for evidence that soul healing miracles are real. This show will provide much of that evidence. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back. This is a very powerful segment in which we have an entire family here who's been affected by this powerful mastery, these powerful miracle healings. We have the Givens family, and we have the daughter, which is a part of the Lawrence family. And each family member here has been affected by the Dr. and Master Sha and his powerful ways of moving into this healing modality. And you're going to see for yourself that a great and mighty change is taking place in their life physically, mentally, emotionally, and of course, spiritually. Now, Sharon, yes. You had some powerful healings, have you not?
Oh, yes, I have.
Tell us how all of this got started.
Well, in 2005, my sister and I were set to see a workshop with Master Sha. Before I met Master Sha, I had systemic lupus, fibromyalgia, Sjogren's syndrome.
Sjogren's syndrome?
Yes.
Tell us what that is.
It's an autoimmune disease, and the symptoms are dry mouth, dry eyes, and arthritis pain. So I was very sick. I was in bed the majority of the time, in and out of work. I kept my job, but I was off of work almost as much as I was on. And my quality of life was not pleasant. I mean, I was in bed most of the time.
And this is your sister, Michelle?
Yes.
And from what I understand, you went to a Life Expo. You actually met Dr. Shaw here.
Yes.
But she couldn't go with you. She was too sick to go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Too sick to go to get a healing.
Yes.
Right.
Tell us what happened.
Well, I was looking for a spiritual teacher and somebody that could teach how to heal yourself and how to heal others and how to open up your spiritual channels. And I was guided to meet Master Sha. And when I went to go see him at the expo, he was teaching you have the power to heal yourself and how to open up your spiritual channels. So I was very drawn to him, and I got a private consultation, and he said, buy all my books, sign up for my class. And I called my sister, and I was like, I met Master Sha. And so I was so excited, and I called her up, and she's like, get me all the books, sign me up. So we both kind of, in the beginning, signed up for the class. And then my sister felt like my dad should go, and I laughed.
I wanted my dad to
Right.
experience this because I just found out that he had precancerous sores on his nose and his mouth, and they just removed a sore on his skin that they thought might have been skin cancer on his stomach.
Wow.
So he also had a 5-vessel bypass 7 years prior to that, and at this point his heart was all blocked up again. His face was pasty white. He couldn't walk from the car to the house with groceries
Right.
without being completely out of breath. So I knew he needed help, and I wanted him to do this.
And so did you two team up on Mr. Givens here? How did this man end up with Master Shaw? But from what I understand, you were kind of skeptical about this.
Oh, for sure. I was very skeptical. I was not kind to my family members
When we were spiritual
that
seeking.
studied
yeah.
spirituality.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
my
You looked down
background-
upon that.
Yeah, my background, I grew up in a Christian background as a child and just didn't understand it. But I knew that I was really sick.
Yes.
So then, unbeknownst to me, you know, they found out about Master Shaw. And I decided to go because I didn't have anything to lose.
So you were there, here you are, your body's falling apart.
Right.
You have some precancerous issues with your face. You have some blockages around the heart area. You can't even walk, can't even breathe.
Right.
And so your daughters get you to Master Shaw here. What happened there that let you think that this something real was going on?
Well, when I went in there, I began to listen to Master Shaw talk.
Yeah.
And
This is still emotional for you, isn't it? And this happened in 2005?
yeah,
And it still brings up these deep feelings for you. It's powerful.
I knew that the way that he talked and the things that he did, that he was genuine. And I saw him take his shoe off, and he had a hole in his sock. And I knew that no con man would ever show up on stage with a hole in his sock. So I knew he was real.
God gave you the sign you needed to get.
That was it. That's all I
a
needed.
holy sock.
Holy sock said, this guy's for real. So I raised my hand then when he asked if anybody had cancer. And I did. So I raised my hand, and he did what he called a soul operation on me.
Yes.
Now, I was so closed off that I didn't feel anything. But I had really liked what he said about he's just a servant of the divine.
Right.
And he gave me this healing. The divine did the work, and I felt nothing. But I went that night, you know, stayed there in the hotel. The next morning when I woke up, I had color in my face. I had been stone white. Now I've got color. I got a bloody nose for the first time in 30 years. The blood is moving. And I never told Master Shaw about my arteries being plugged up.
Right.
The divine, when he healed me, knew what needed to be done.
It didn't just stop with the precancerous condition.
No, it didn't.
It healed the whole body.
Right. And then following that, after the work, well, when we were at the workshop, I went back down and told everybody what happened. And I thought, Master Shaw, what should I do next? Because something's going on.
Right.
He said, get your karma cleared. I said, can you do that? And he said, yes. So I got my karma cleared. I didn't even know what karma was. In Christian education as a kid, they didn't teach what that was.
Now, Master Shaw, when you told him to get his karma cleared, what did you mean by that?
Okay, thank you. Karma is a record of services in all life. There's a good karma with love, care, compassion in all lifetime. So sometimes, you know, when we now in a human being, country leaders, wealthy person, anybody, if you harm others
Yes.
with killing, with take advantage of others, with anger, so this we call negative record. It's something Master Roger did wrong in the past life. And I said, let me offer the service. But he didn't know what's karma about it.
Right.
But he just followed me karma clear. Okay, register for karma cleansing. I did the job.
He was prepared. He was ready.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, after my karma was cleared, within about 5 days later, I ran the treadmill test
Right.
at my cardiologist's office. And I had gained a few pounds, and he wanted to really talk tough to me. I could tell as he was looking at me, he kept looking at me. He's watching my heart do this on the screen, and he's looking at me, and he said, your heart's never looked better. And within 2 weeks, the precancer stuff was gone. The lymphoma I had removed. They could not determine whether it was cancerous or not, but it's never returned. And I felt great.
Wow. This is Diane right behind you, your wife. And I understand that you now can walk.
Yes. Prior to meeting Master Shah, I was diagnosed with lupus in 1988. And the lupus affected all of my joints really bad. I could barely move around. And it had also destroyed, between that and the drugs I took, it destroyed the cartilage in both of my knees. And it was very hard for me to be able to do much. We traveled in our motorhome, but we didn't really do hiking or looking at stuff. We would have to depend on the day and how much I could walk and how many steps there were. So it was very restricting. Master Shah gave me the healing that weekend, and the next day, I couldn't even believe it. The next day, I was able to walk all over New York City. I walked. We walked through museums. We walked through the NBC studios. We walked up and down the stairs to the subways. And my husband kept telling me to slow down. I was afraid to slow down because I thought, well, what if this healing doesn't last? And, you know, I want to get in as much as I can before my pain comes back. And the pain didn't come back. Every now and then I would wake up in the morning a little achy. And so I would do the practice that he taught me to do. And I would do the chant, and I would tap on my knees, and the aching would go away in just a couple of minutes. And so any time that I started to feel anything in my knees, I would go ahead and do the healing that he taught me and the chant that he taught me.
Can you walk now?
Yes, I can walk.
Since 2005, you can walk? You haven't had a knee replacement? No. Other than the soul transplant?
Yeah.
Soul transplant, yes.
Right.
We used to have to stop every 10 or 15 feet. Like, we couldn't walk through the mall. We couldn't do anything.
You had to wait for her all the time.
Oh, all the time. And she'd have to just stop and wait, get a deep breath, take a deep breath. Then she'd be able to walk a little bit further. Then we'd have to stop.
Michael, our last words, like, Michael, you know that Diane, can you share your knee how bad after healing? You know, you're dancing in some part. That's an important story.
Oh, wait a minute. Dancing?
Yeah.
Dancing? We knew you were walking, but now you're dancing?
We were going to a wedding for my nephew, and I decided that, you know, I really should wear heels. I normally just wore tennis shoes all the time because that was what was most comfortable. So I went and bought a little pair of 2-inch heels and wore them to the wedding, and I brought along my other shoes thinking, well, you know, if I can make it through the wedding, then I can at least put on my other shoes for the reception. Well, it turned out I didn't need to take off my heels. I was actually able to dance on the floor for over 3 hours without stopping, just danced and danced, and I hadn't danced in over 20 years. And so it was really amazing to me and to my family that was there that I could do all of that. And that has freed up my life so much. That is just unbelievable, that how much of a normal life I can have now. I can shop, I can walk, I can do whatever. I haven't used a pain pill for my knees since 2005. So it's just very amazing to me.
Now, Michael,
Yes, she is.
you were also a part of this demonstration because I understand you were experiencing Crohn's disease.
Yes.
And how were you today and what happened?
The 11 years prior to my wife meeting Master Shah, I suffered from chronic Crohn's condition, which for my case was ulcerations of the large intestines. And I suffered daily from it. And when my wife met Master Shah and started studying the work and doing the practices and offering me the blessings and healings, I began to improve. And over time, I got to the point where it was manageable day by day. And in about a year and a half, it went to almost full remission. So the first year and a half, things began improving. And then I became a student under Master Shaw. And I found my systems going away more and more. I was having less food reactions where it was causing me an upset stomach or a reaction to certain type of foods. And it got to the point where I would say it was probably 90% in remission. And then it started to come back. And I noticed symptoms were starting to pick up. And I went into the doctor, I had my blood work drawn, and my lab works were all out of range. My blood count was down to 9.8. My doctor looked at me and wanted to hospitalize me that afternoon, but I was going to be going to a retreat with Master Shaw in 3 days. And I asked him, could I go see my spiritual healer first? Then we will see what happens after that. And this is the same doctor that knew that my body was able to recover from extremes. And he knew a little bit about what the family was doing with Master Shaw. So he agreed to let me go ahead and go as long as I came back with all the information of where the hospitals were, and if I had any more internal bleeding, that I would go directly to the emergency room and be taken care of, which I agreed to, and I showed him, and I went to the seminar or the workshop. It would be a retreat. I went to the retreat, and on the second day, Master Shaw, seeing how sick I was, and he brought me up to the stage and he offered me the highest blessing at the time for my condition. I went back home 14 days after the last lab results and had my lab work drawn. My blood count came up over 2 points, brought it back up to low normal, and all the other markers were almost in normal or just out of normal. And my doctor just couldn't believe what a turnaround I had in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks following that, all lab results were back normal, and I was healthy again. And I continued to stay healthy until 2010, when karma brought back my disease again. And going to the doctor, and within 3 weeks of the first diagnosis that my disease was coming back in 2010, I was hospitalized again because I was not responding to any Western medicines. And after the second day of being in the hospital, I still wasn't responding to any of the higher doses of medicines. So they brought a surgeon in, and they were talking to me about surgery. And the surgery outcome was most likely I was going to lose the entire large intestine because they were afraid there wasn't any good intestine that they could reconnect anything to if they went in and did surgery. At the time, I told them, no, surgery is not an option at this time. I asked my wife to go ahead and bring some of Master Shaw's books in, and I began to redo my practices. That was part of my karma, as I stopped my practices and I kind of lost track of who I was and what I was supposed to be doing. I brought it all back into my life. Master Shaw gave me huge blessings that afternoon. By that evening, all the internal bleeding had stopped. By morning time, I was fully recovered, that it took the doctors additional 4 days to realize that my symptoms were gone and that I was healthy again. And another 2 days for them to feel comfortable enough to release me, because I went from being in such extreme condition to being so healthy overnight that they just wasn't thinking what they were seeing or the results they were getting were true results. And they finally released me. And then on the follow-up visit, like a month later, when they went back in and checked the large intestine, even my doctor said if she didn't put a tattoo on where the heaviest bleeding was at, she wouldn't have been able to see anything was wrong there, because the entire intestine was alive and healthy with no scarring again. And then ever since that, for the past 4 years, my Crohn's, I've been in complete remission since then.
This is Dr. Master Shaw. This is the Givens Lawrence family. You're all masters now, right?
Oh yeah, this is the Master Divine Channel, Master Roger, and he's already offered Divine Karma Cleansing. I have created, I'm training 400,
Right.
and this is, I certified the 33. God give me a power, I pass to them. They offer Karma Cleansing, miracle healing, and also 3 of you Divine Channel trainees, 400 for them. So there'll be 4 of you. So
Even she does the work.
oh yeah, she Divine Healing Hands. Yeah.
Well, this is really beautiful because she's a miracle baby, first of all. And secondly, you were skeptical. Both of you were skeptical, so that's very powerful. And you all had certain kind of maladies that were healed. So when you speak, when you heal, when you teach, you're not going from any kind of theoretical perception. You've had it done to yourself, and you know how to do it.
Right.
That's a very powerful testimony. And you didn't have to give up your belief in God.
No.
You have a greater belief in the presence now. Today you've heard some very powerful testimonies from some people just like you. People who've had maladies and diseases, and people who were very skeptical about this kind of work. And you've heard how their lives were changed as they came in contact with this beautiful man's teaching and his practices. And we just want to thank you for tuning in. You've heard about the healing of lupus. You've heard about eyesight returning to normal. You've heard about Crohn's disease dissolving. You've heard about knee transplant on a soul level, in which she not only is walking, but she's dancing. You've heard about infertility dissolving and this beautiful baby being the result of that powerful healing. The sister doused and said, "Where shall we go?" Master Shaw was the place to go. And so I do want to thank you for tuning in. There's more to all of this than meets the eye. And we hope that we are increasing your faith and conviction about the unseen power of being a channel of the pure Spirit of God. At this time, the Dr. Master is going to give us a wonderful healing treatment right now.
Now, I am going to offer divine Tao source blessing to all viewers. This blessing is Tao Soul Light Calligraphy blessing. Everybody see the back side. The center one, Ling Guang Soul Light. Anybody silent? Dear Master Sha, dear Divine Tao, can you give me a healing? Choose one area, either one system, either one organ, either one part of the body. You can see here, Ling Guang. How everybody relax? You can watch my hand.